My wife was walking just ahead, and I was straining my eyes, looking at her backpack. Slowly, impossibly, the pack began to shrink. I walked faster, trying to keep pace with her, but the bag kept getting farther away. I felt a cold dread as the small figure finally vanished, blending completely with the trees. I had climbed Pico de Loro countless times, and my wife and I were veterans used to major climb expeditions. But this weekend, we were invited by peers to accompany a large number of hikers from a major telco team-building event. The new climbers were over-enthusiastic and loud. Some kept picking stones and plants. Others were taking pictures on the trail, causing a lot of noise. We repeatedly warned them to stay silent, but controlling such a huge group was difficult. A few even laughed at the seriousness when our lead guide warned, "Respect the mountain." They were all enjoying the climb, not knowing that they're reckless. Disrespectful energy hung heavy in the air, stirring up something unseen. We settled on a flat area to camp. After dinner, everyone was sitting by the bonfire when suddenly we heard a loud thunder. The sky, which was adorned by the stars a while ago, suddenly covered by clouds, as if hiding for what was to come. The rain then came down harder than anyone expected, turning our campsite into a torrent. It felt less like rain and more like a warning. Some of us couldn't sleep from fear and decided to keep watch. When morning came, everyone sighed with relief, only to be shocked by the missing supplies. We were cold, exhausted, and confused. Most of our food supplies were missing. We whispered about thieves, but deep down we knew better. We were skeptical, but since we could not do without the supplies, we decided to cut short the camping. The path, punishing us for their offense, had become a mess of mud and roots. The mud was so deep it felt like something was holding our feet and calves. During the descent, with no trail food left, my wife and I were so desperate from hunger that we resorted to eating bayaba's leaves. My eyes were fixed on the hope of finding the exit. But then I was alone. Sheer horror crept through me as my wife, walking just ahead, slowly blended with the trees. I had heard countless stories about the supernatural in my years of hiking. I never expected to become the story. I finally understood the mountain had taken offense. Every bamboo stalk along the trail was bent low, but not broken. I knew the old story. A spirit is sitting there, watching me. The easy 2 to 4 hour descent had stretched into a terrifying 7-hour ordeal. I kept seeing the same distinctive boulder over and over again. I started hearing things, a faint, mocking humming just beyond the leaves, and the sound of quick, small running steps keeping pace beside the trail. I finally whispered the words that was taught by my elders, my voice shaking, "Tabi tabi po nuno." This, according to folklore, is the password for humans to pass peacefully in their realm. The entire forest felt thick with something unseen. I wasn't fighting nature. I was fighting to find the woman I loved and escape this terrible illusion. The trail finally widened. Moments later, I saw her muck-covered and silent emerging from a completely different fork in the path. At the jump-off point, even the noisy ones were quiet. The question hung heavy in the air. Had we truly encountered a maligno? We left the mountain that night, shaken but safe. It was a humbling experience that taught me something simple. No matter how prepared you are, never forget that the deadliest sound on that mountain isn't thunder. It's the sudden supernatural silence that comes when the forest finally demands respect.